Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. So hello humans, I'm the Alien Doctor, but you could call me Alien, and welcome back to another episode of PinaCraft Season 4. Now the first thing I should start off by saying is a huge thank you for 2,000 subscribers. No. Oh, really? Trying to record a subscribe special here, jeez. Well, aside from the fact that I now have some cleanup from that creeper explosion, this is an absolutely amazing milestone, and I am incredibly grateful for all your guys' support on the channel. And of course, you know, all of the support that extends outside of the channel, such as on Patreon, the Discord server, Twitch, and basically anywhere else that I exist. So anyway, I mentioned today's episode is going to be a little bit different because it's my 2K sub special. So the main bulk of this episode is going to be a subscriber Q&A. I have asked for your questions on YouTube community posts, Discord, and probably Twitter as well if I get round to it. And in today's episode, I'm going to be answering your questions. But before we do that, I think it's time for some statistics. So my channel was created on the 29th of March 2020, which means it has existed for 3 years, 6 months, and 25 days. So we're actually just under half a year from reaching our 4-year anniversary, which is pretty exciting. During that time, we have posted 386 videos and gained a total of 2,860 subscribers. However, we have lost 801 subscribers just from people unsubscribing over time, which is completely normal, which means our channel is on 2,059 subscribers at the time of this recording. With all that being said, the channel has brought in 422,569 channel views, which is, well, pretty nice. And we also have 11,067 total watch time hours, which means in total, my videos have been watched for 11,000 hours, which is, well, pretty insane to think about. So a huge thank you to anybody that has subscribed and watched my videos over the years, whether you have since moved on from the channel and are watching something else, or whether you only just subscribed yesterday. You all in some way have contributed to that, even if you're watching this video right now and haven't seen any of my others before that. So a huge thank you. So now that we have all those questions out of the way, let's go ahead and begin the Q&A. And whilst we're doing the Q&A, there's going to be a little bit of background footage as I go ahead and place more stone in my mega base build because, well, I needed to place more stone in my mega base build, and this gives me a pretty good excuse to do it. So this is voiceover Alien here to record the Q&A, and if I sound a little bit different, it's because since recording all the intro clips and stuff, I have got a little bit ill, but don't worry, I'm still okay enough to record this Q&A. So I've gone ahead and split them into 3 different sections. So we first of all have the Minecraft section, then we have the sort of YouTube related section, and then finally we have the sort of more like real life questions, which is sort of more related to me, if you like. So the first question is from Cam is a Penguin, fellow PinaCraft member, who says, what is your least favorite Minecraft update? So far it has been 1.20, I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying it's a bad update, but I just don't think it has much in it that appeals to specifically me. So far 1.21 does seem a lot more promising though. So for me, I think I'll like it more. I think overall my favorite update has probably been 1.16. The Nether update, I just think that was a really good time for Minecraft in general, and also a really good update. Cam also asks when I started playing Minecraft. Well, I created my Minecraft account on the 23rd of November 2013, and I know this because there used to be a way that you can check when you created your Java account, which you can't anymore after the Microsoft merge. I need to go answer my door, 1 second. So as I was saying, I started playing Minecraft in 2013, and I actually started on the family laptop, which I had to share with my brother. And then later I switched to the PS3 so that we could both play split screen, then upgraded to the PS4 when the PS3 broke. And then when I started secondary school, I got a laptop for like work and stuff, which is also when I accidentally bought Bedrock Edition because I thought I could use it to play modded. Little did I realize that I could just re-download Java because I already owned it. and I didn't really know the difference between Bedrock and Java at this point, as I wasn't really involved with the online Minecraft community, and probably hadn't even watched proper Minecraft YouTube for a while, to be completely honest, so I had no idea about the difference, and accidentally bought Bedrock thinking it was Java. So the entire reason I play Bedrock is kind of an accident. But this will be answered in the next question from Lehum, who says, why do you focus on Bedrock content instead of a Java edition? Well, after accidentally buying Bedrock, I figured I might as well play it, seeing as it performed better on my laptop. So I used Bedrock for vanilla and Java for modded. This was right around the time I discovered the sort of more technical Minecraft YouTube, such as Mumbo Jumbo playing on Hermitcraft Season 6. I really wanted to build farms like Mumbo and a lot of the other hermits, so I went looking for Bedrock tutorials, because for whatever reason, I was dedicated to playing Bedrock at that point, I guess because of the performance. Also, a quick side note, my IRL friend had recently bought a realm on Bedrock Edition at that time, so I think that also pushed me to play Bedrock more because I was pretty much primarily playing on that realm. But anyway, I went looking for Bedrock tutorials, which is when I discovered there weren't really that many and they were dominated by like 3 or 4 specific channels. So that's actually how I discovered Silent Whisperer, who was probably the first ever Bedrock YouTuber I subscribed to, and I built a lot of his tutorials as well. And then through him, I discovered the truly Bedrock SMP, which is where I learned about a few more Bedrock content creators like Foxy Notel and Prowl8413. At this time, there was still a lack of Bedrock creators and tutorials compared to Java. There was like basically no big scale creators creating content on Bedrock, not really any full-time ones as far as I'm aware. There was just quite a lot of small channels sort of doing it, and when I say small channels, I mean there were some that were like my size or less that would be like well known in the Bedrock community, because at that time just the technical community was just so small on Bedrock because it was just seen as something that you couldn't really do. So when it came around the time for me to create my channel, there was still a large lack of Minecraft content creators at the time. I think there certainly were more than when I first started playing Bedrock, but it still wasn't like as big of a thing as such, and I don't really think many Bedrock creators were still taken that seriously at this point. So I decided to, create my channel on Minecraft Bedrock Edition and obviously focus on that technical aspect, which is kind of like a niche, I guess. And the other thing I would like to say about that is whenever I designed a farm, even if it was absolutely terrible, it still felt new and undiscovered. It very much felt like when I was playing Java Edition, whatever I did, somebody had done something 10 million times better than me, and it never felt like anything I was doing was new because it had all felt like it had been done before. And obviously, I never created Java content, so I never got that feeling, but just as a player, that's the feeling I got. So I knew I didn't want that feeling when I switched to making content, and I'm still happy that I made that decision. I think there's a lot of potential in Bedrock, and I think content creators are part of helping Bedrock to reach its full potential. But anyway, so Adequate Craft asks, what do you have against the Wandering Trader? He's just trying to feed his family. Well, you know, maybe he could be less annoying about it. You know, he's just spawning in and, you know, doing absolutely terrible prices. By the way, my tired, the only useful thing that you can sometimes get from them is mini blocks, and then half the time the mini blocks trades don't even work. I can't get like an ender chest trade, for example, because for whatever reason, he doesn't want to trade an ender chest. So, I mean, you know, maybe that, I guess that's what I have against him, to answer your question, but thanks for your question. So I'm probably going to butcher this name because I have no idea how to say it, but Vulconjuring asks, what is your favorite alien version or appearance? Now, I've put this in the Minecraft section because I'm guessing this question is asking about my favorite version of my skin. Apologies if you're asking something different and I've just completely misunderstood, but I think my favorite version of my skin is the one I currently use on PinaCraft Season 4, which is the one with the crocs that Toad made. I honestly considered adding the crocs to my skin in general and just having that as the default one. However, the skin file is a higher resolution than the default and therefore not supported on Java, and I want to be able to use my default skin on both Bedrock and Java, so I wouldn't really want to have crocs on Bedrock and not on Java as my default. Obviously, for PinaCraft Season 4, I'll just continue wearing the crocs until I get a new skin or until the season ends, because I do genuinely really like them. I don't know what it is. I think it's just a random little bit of character to my skin and, you know, the color. And yeah, I don't know. It just, I really like it. I'm going to be honest. So Phipps, who is a fellow PinaCraft member, asks, what was your favorite base from any of your Minecraft series? Well, I think once it's finished, my Season 4 base will probably be my favorite, as it's an idea I've had for quite some time, and I really want it to be a focus of mine this season and just really make it good. I really did like the PinaCraft Season 3 base design that we built with PinaCraft, but my main issue from that was that it never really felt like a base, because it basically didn't have anything in it. It had like a super smelter and then a lot of empty space, and then also a lot of space that you just couldn't really use. When I have a base, I like to feel like I'm living in it, kind of, in my Minecraft world. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I was still very much like, I guess, living, in quotation marks, out of my bunker at the starter area. So I never really felt like I moved into that base. That's possibly also because it was a dual base, and the times that we had to build it were limited, because we had to both be free to sort of do any large amount of work on it, which led to it being completed a lot later than I probably would have wanted. So another question from Cam is, what are my Minecraft keybinds? As far as I can tell, I use the default Minecraft keybinds, but on screen now, I'll scroll through my settings so that you can see what they are. But yeah, it's just WASD to move, Control to run, Shift to crouch. As far as I'm aware, that is literally the default. So yeah. So Firetype Gaming asks, are you better at Bedrock or Java PvP? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm okay at both, but then again, there isn't a ton of skill involved in Bedrock PvP, no offense, especially when you're playing on a mouse and keyboard, because it is literally just clicking and aiming for the most part. I can hold my own in PvP games on both versions, but I'm normally not like the best one there or the worst. I don't know. I'm probably above average, but not like loads, or maybe I'm just average and too optimistic. The point is, I'm not terrible. I could hold my own in a fight. But obviously there are way better people than me, because it's not really an area of the game these days that I'm too interested in. I used to play a lot of Bed Wars on Hypixel at least 5 years ago at this point, and when I moved to Bedrock, I also would play Hive Treasure Wars a little bit. But yeah, I haven't really played PvP properly as like my main focus of the game for, as I said, many years. So the final question in the Minecraft section is from PinaCraft, who says, how did you develop your obsession with the checkerboard pattern? Was it due to traumatic childhood? Now, if you don't know, this is like a little inside joke, I guess, that we have on PinaCraft, where I always seem to build like floors in a checkerboard pattern, and PinaCraft doesn't like it, basically. You know, what can I say? Those checkerboard patterns, they just, you know, they look so good, you know. I just have to try and fit it into every build I can. So moving on to the YouTube related question now, the first question is from Alice, who asks, what made you want to start YouTube? So I originally started YouTube to make a podcast about tech news, but felt this wasn't fulfilling my creative desire, as I had really wanted to learn more about video editing. Around the time that the UK COVID lockdown started, I created this channel, mainly as a second channel, but it quickly overtook the podcast channel, which has since been abandoned a long time ago. I also mentioned earlier about my desire to explore the niche of Bedrock technical stuff, and, you know, I was playing a lot of Minecraft because it was lockdown, so I figured I might as well go ahead and, you know, make the channel and record what I do, because I'm going to be doing it anyway, right? And as I also mentioned, I wanted to learn about video editing, so yeah, that was also just a huge plus for me. And this also answers PinaCraft's question, who asked, have you ever had any other YouTube channels before this one? And yeah, the only other one I've had is my tech podcast channel. And that lasted about a year of semi-consistent episodes, but there was like a couple of months break for when I started this channel, and I basically just put all my time and energy into this one instead of the podcast. That podcast would probably still be going if I didn't have this channel. Even with a small channel, it's surprisingly hard to sort of manage two different channels. So yeah, that's a part of the reason why I stopped that. And also because it was locked down, there wasn't a whole lot of interesting tech news to talk about. So I wasn't really having much motivation for it. And I think because I was like looking for stuff to talk about, it also ruined my why can't I say that word? It ruined my motivation, because instead of just, you know, looking at tech news and tech related stuff, and just enjoying it. I was instead looking at it in the way that I might be able to add it to the podcast and thinking about what I could say. So I think I lost a lot of motivation from that as well. So Cam asks, how did you come up with the name TheAlienDoctor? So I originally created this as a gamer tag to replace my old one. I had an idea of like the sort of character I wanted it to portray. Bear in mind, this is like before I started YouTube, but the character was essentially some sort of scientist that's an alien. So I essentially just combined the words alien and doctor and then added the to the start of it because I think that just made it sound better. I think Alien Doctor doesn't sound as good compared to The Alien Doctor. There's just something about it. Like every time people call me Alien Doctor, it's like fine, obviously, but I don't know. There's just something about it where I'm like, oh, that just doesn't sound quite right. That's also why, fun fact, at the start of every video, I always say, hello humans, I'm the Alien Doctor, but you can call me Alien. The reason I originally created that was because I wanted people to call me Alien instead of Alien Doctor or just Doctor. Because, I don't know, the Doctor part isn't really like a main focus of my brand, if that makes sense. Because, you know, people always like say, oh, like, what are you a doctor of? Are you a doctor for aliens or for, you know, that sort of thing. And I don't know. The main reason I say that the doctor part is there is because I'm a doctor of Minecraft Bedrock Redstone. But like, yeah, I don't know. The point is, well, that's how I created the name essentially. It was just to replace an old gamer tag. Some people think it's also because of my love of Doctor Who, which I'll talk about later. That wasn't really why I came up with the name, but it was why I decided to keep the name. So XtraAlien asks, are you going to upload Pokemon videos on XtraAlien? So I don't think some people are going to be happy to hear this, but I've never really gotten into Pokemon related things, whether that be the game or the TV series, which I have watched a very long time ago. I do want to make more content on other games and probably more in the form of Twitch streams, where the VOD then gets uploaded to XtraAlien as opposed to like dedicated videos on XtraAlien. The only reason I made Zelda videos on XtraAlien is because that was a very exciting game for me and I couldn't wait to be live every day because I can't, you know, there are just times when I can't stream for whatever reason and I'm still able to record and stuff, and I obviously am still able to play the game. So I figured why not record instead of waiting for the stream. So yeah, that's kind of why Zelda videos were there. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions for games, then totally do let me know in the comment section or in the Discord or on Twitter. I don't know, wherever you can contact me. So Apophiz, I don't know how to say your name, but it will be on screen. Asks, if you were to take your YouTube channel completely away from gaming and switch to a different genre, what would it be? So I've always been passionate about technology, as sort of talked about earlier with the tech podcast. So probably something related to computers, but it wouldn't be a podcast, probably. I don't know. It would have to be like IRL filming, but I don't want to do that yet, so it won't be. Well, you know, in this theoretical channel, that wouldn't happen because I don't want to film myself, like actual self yet. But I think I could also see myself making videos about content creator gear, whether it be things like microphones and capture cards to even cameras. I'm definitely not qualified to do that, you know, right now, but it's something I've always been interested in learning about. And well, obviously from doing YouTube, I have also learned about it anyway. And I also watch a lot of similar channels that make the sort of content I'm thinking of, like Senpai Gaming and Epos Vox. You know, just that sort of like content creator gear. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like YouTuber focused. It could be more filming focused as well. When I say filming, I mean like the traditional like filming industry as opposed to like, you know, YouTube and Twitch and whatever. But anyway. So Nicey asks, what is the most important or used lesson you've learned from doing YouTube? So not gonna lie, I had to think about this question for a while, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how to answer it. However, I think one of the things it has taught me is communication in general, whether it just be how to communicate, you know, like a difference of opinion, or communicating an idea for a project, or just like generally being slightly more socially confident. I don't know. So just that sort of thing, I guess. Communication is what I went for. That's what I wrote down here. I don't know if that's really the answer you're looking for, but I don't really have another one. So the next question is from XtraAlien, who asks, what was the reason you joined PinaCraft? So I had been offered to join a few SMPs previously, but I chose to join PinaCraft because I could see it was a great group of people, and it had also been running for at least a year. I think season 1 started sometime in 2020, and I joined in 2021. So it had been running for at least a year. So I could see it probably wasn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, because I didn't want to just join an SMP that would then, you know, end for whatever reason a couple of months later. Sounds a little bit unfair because, like, you know, how do you get people to join a new SMP if everybody was like that? Which, yes, okay, I admit it does sound a little bit harsh, but the reality of it was, after I had started my own SMP, and that had ended after a couple of months for various reasons, I didn't really want a repeat of that. But obviously, like, if, you know, I got invited to a new SMP, even at that time, and I could see that it had all the things to be successful, then I would still join it. But PinaCraft had all the things to be successful and already was reasonably successful, because it had lasted, you know, long enough. It had lasted over a year that, like, yeah, I don't know. The point is, it was kind of a safe thing to join. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere anytime soon. Hopefully my answer made some sort of sense. So once again, very sorry. I don't know how to say your name properly, but Apophis, where do you see yourself in 5 years in terms of YouTube and career? Where do you expect to be with YouTube, and what do you hope to have achieved apart from YouTube? So that's like 3 questions in one. So let's try and answer that. So I think in terms of YouTube, it would have been nice to have at least gained over 10,000 subscribers. I've kind of like done all my goals. Like recently, I kind of need to find a new goal, because obviously first it was get 100 subscribers, then it was 1,000 subscribers, then it was enough watch time to get monetized. But I've got all of those now, so I don't really have a current goal that I'm aiming for. And obviously doing YouTube is fun, but adding that goal also gives you something to work for. If you don't have goals, then you end up I don't know, well, in my opinion, I would end up not producing the best I can, because I don't have a clear focus or goal. So I want to, you know, create the best content I can to help me reach that goal, I guess. Gold? Goal, not gold. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. So it would be nice to have 10k subscribers, I think. I don't know if that's where I see myself in 5 years. I mean, I don't know, 5 years is kind of a long time. So yeah, hopefully I would have 10,000 subscribers in 5 years, maybe even more. But I don't know, that's not a prediction or anything, but that would just be where I would like to see it, I guess. What do you have hoped to have achieved apart from YouTube? So I think apart from YouTube, like, let's think career-wise, well, to be honest, I don't really know what I want or expect, like, from in life apart from YouTube in 5 years. By then, I would like to have thought that I'd have finished university, because if you don't know, next year, hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll be going to university. And, you know, so maybe by then, by then I should have finished university, unless I decide to stay on for whatever reason. So hopefully I'll have a job in the film industry, as that's sort of what I'm studying. I'm really interested in, you know, that sort of thing. And video editing is sort of my main passion. So it would obviously be nice to be near that, if not already have a video editing job. So yeah. Side note, college and university is also different in the UK. I'm pretty sure college and university are the same in America, or like for the same age group. Whereas in the UK, you do college first and then you do university. I'm doing college now. I'll start university next year. Okay, so that's all of it for the YouTube related questions, even though that last one was partly real life as well. But anyway, let's move on to the real life questions now, which there aren't a ton here, but there are some. So the first question is from Shadow King, who asks, when are you going to do a face reveal? So I don't currently have any plans to face reveal in the foreseeable future. However, I have said that if the channel gets to 100,000 subscribers, I will do a hand reveal whilst unboxing the silver play button that you get at 100k subscribers. So there's that. I don't really see a need to do a face reveal at the moment. I don't think it's holding me back in any way, not putting my face on stuff. And if anything, it's also, I guess, like protecting me, because yeah, I don't know. It makes me feel more comfortable not putting my face on stuff, because I feel like once I put like my name and my face and stuff that's more personal to me, it starts to attach me as a person to this channel, as opposed to it being like almost a character, I guess. Right now, you're seeing a projection of the parts of me that I want you to see, right? Like, obviously I'm different in person. I wouldn't say I'm hugely different in person, because it's not like I've got anything to hide. But obviously, you know, I've got personal stuff that doesn't get shared on here. Everybody has. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I started including my face into stuff, it would just break down that barrier and that separation between kind of personal stuff and YouTube, if that makes sense. And I know it's really odd thing to think about when you first think about it, because it's not like, you know, adding my face just does that by itself. It's more of a subconscious thing, I guess, in a way. But I don't know. Anyway, long story short, to answer your question, I don't really have any plans to do one in the foreseeable future. I wouldn't be surprised if I do one eventually, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I never do one. So, sorry. So, Lex Fighter asks, what kind of films and TV do you like? Very, very happy that you've asked this question, because I have got a lot to say. So, I have been interested in sci-fi sort of and action films in general, but honestly, well, I'll get into this. I do like all sorts, to be honest. But my favorite TV show would probably be Doctor Who or Torchwood, which is a Doctor Who spin-off. I really wish that they would revive Torchwood at some point. I think that would be really nice. If you don't know, Torchwood is a spin-off series from Doctor Who made back when Doctor Who was first revived. I think so Doctor Who was revived in 2005, and I think Torchwood started in 2006, if I remember correctly. And it ended, I think the final season was maybe 2013, but that seems too recent, so maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. That's just off the top of my head, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, those two shows I have a lot of love for. Yeah, I'm also very excited for the new Doctor Who series and the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. They finally got back Russell T Davies. Well, yeah, he's going to be the new showrunner, and he was the showrunner when they originally brought it back as well, which in my opinion, the original 2005 revival from the Russell T Davies era, if you like, was like my favorite time of modern Doctor Who. And I don't have anything wrong with Stephen Moffat's era of Doctor Who either. Like, sure, there's a couple of things that I'd say I wasn't a huge fan of, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I do think there are things wrong with the Chibnall era, which is the most recent one. So Chris Chibnall, who wrote the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and her time on the show. I don't think Chris is a bad writer, and I don't think Jodie is a bad actor or anything like that. I just think the way that the sort of writing was done, and also just certain things around the show, you know, outside of the writing, I guess kind of related to like publicity and that sort of thing. Just, I don't know, there were a lot of things, I won't get into it here, but there were a lot of things that I think weren't handled the best that kind of made Doctor Who not quite what it was. But anyway, I could literally talk about that forever, so I won't. So yeah, that's sort of sci-fi and action stuff. I also kind of just like comedy, or I guess like sitcoms, I guess they're called. So I recently finished watching all of Modern Family on Disney+, which was very funny and very good. And in the past, I've also watched The IT Crowd as well, which is a really good show, and it also combines my technological interest with comedy. The IT Crowd is another one that I wish they'd bring back. I also just like things like Star Wars, and, you know, I've watched all of the Star Wars series that they've done. And speaking of series, I think I actually prefer series and episodic content over a film. So Toad, another fellow PinaCraft member, asks, if you could travel anywhere, where would you go? Now, this is a very, very, very strange answer, but bear with me. So I would go to Cardiff, because if anybody doesn't know, it is where a lot of Doctor Who is filmed, and also Torchwood was filmed and set in Cardiff. And Cardiff is often a large part of Torchwood. So I don't know, I just think I have actually been there a long time ago, way before I had, you know, my channel or anything like that. And yeah, I just really love to go back there. Now that I'm a bit older as well, bring my camera, do some photos and that sort of thing. Because yeah, I don't know, Cardiff, it also just looks like a nice city, or at least the part that I've seen from Torchwood. Obviously, not all of it's going to be like that. I know that's like a super like nerdy thing, but there we go. That's where I'd go. I also really like, we've been on holiday to Gran Canaria before, which is one of the Canary Islands, and that's also been really nice. So that's like my favorite holiday destination, but I haven't really been abroad many times on holiday. So yeah, But anyway, so the final question, I think, yeah, this is the final question, is from Lex Fighter again. Now, I want to preface this with Lex Fighter knows me IRL, which is why this is an oddly specific question. But he asks, what kind of Lego do you like? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I mostly like Lego Star Wars. If Doctor Who or Torchwood Lego existed, I would definitely get that. And I have actually bought the one and only Doctor Who Lego set that they have when they did Lego Ideas Doctor Who, which was really good. If you don't know, I have a big Lego collection, and most of it is Star Wars Lego, and yeah. It sort of started when I was younger, but it's also for adults. Lots of adults also collect Lego, and I don't buy new Lego very often anymore. I do like every so often. I actually got some for my birthday, but yeah, I guess I kind of more collect it as opposed to play with it now. And yeah, I don't know, it's just really fun. It's quite nice just building it as well, like listening to music or watching a video, a podcast whilst I'm building it, whatever. And you know, I think it looks really cool. So yeah, I don't know, Lego is cool basically. And I think that is everything. Well, that is it for this video. So a huge thank you for watching. And a huge thank you for 2,000 subscribers, of course, as well. In the next episode, it will be a little bit more of a normal episode because we'll be working on the actual base, but building something on top, which I have actually already began designing. In fact, I've pretty much finished designing it. But anyway, that's for that episode. So yeah. So anyway, a huge thank you for watching. If you're interested in more Minecraft Bedrock Edition content like this, then don't forget to subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one coming very soon. Bye-bye.